Hey guys, what's up? Time for another show. Let's get straight into the thing that I wanted to talk about last time, but it got overpowered by the sound.
A lot of people now are like, Star Wars is bad. Why does that matter? The value of story.
This segment is pretty much called Interpreting Drunk Brian. And I have to listen to it at the same time, which I haven't figured out how to do yet, but here it is.
Is more than just entertainment. Stories are like our programming for behavior. What is at the core of every story? It's adaptation and conflict. Maybe we like that because running simulation training, anytime you watch a movie or hear a story, that's definitely how it started out. Everything had a moral. There's a moral to the tale, the fables and stuff. It's because it's helpful. Is that why the conflict and adaptation structure is so prevalent? I think nowadays, not all that. It's shifted away, entered a different state of mind about like entertainment and stuff. And I don't know, let's read some prepared material here. When all we had was the radio and 5 channels on TV, everyone was watching the same thing, and we were all on the same page, media-wise, TV shows. There were only a handful of shows to watch. So when you went to work in 1960, everyone knew what happened on I Love.
Okay, I think I got the gist of it. Okay, so here comes my translation. A lot of people now are like, Star Wars is bad. Why does that matter? Because the value of stories is more than just entertainment. Stories are like our programming for behavior. What's at the core of every story? It's adaptation and conflict. Maybe we like that because running simulation training every time you watch a movie is very helpful to our subconscious. Think about that's definitely how it started out anyway. There was always a moral to the fables and junk because it's helpful situational awareness. Is that why the adaptation and conflict structure is so prevalent? I mean, even nowadays that they've shifted away from that because we've sort of reached this post biological mind space. Now there are other things, like for instance, movies like Brightburn or The Founder that have no discernible moral whatsoever. Now it's about entertainment, but at the beginning it definitely started about morals, and I could definitely see how that would be some weird linguistic. It doesn't even have to be weird, really. It's just like you hear stories, and especially in the early days when the stories were super basic, you put yourself in that scenario and you're basically orally transmitting memories. When all we had was the radio and 5 channels on TV, everyone was watching the same thing, and we were all on the same page media wise. TV shows, songs. There was only a handful out there. When you went to work in 1960, everyone knew what happened on I Love Lucy. Then the internet happened and everyone spun out in so many different ways. Suddenly, and without warning, we went into a billion different tunnels of culture, individual tunnels. It might be helpful to recognize that we just underwent a crazy headspace shift. In all of recorded history, there's no such thing as the internet, and so we have to wonder how that is affecting us, blah, blah, blah. That's been said before. But the first part about stories is important. And so I guess that answers the initial question of that, which was why does it matter if Star Wars is bad? It's because, like, that was for a time the most Luke Skywalker was such a paragon for every young man. This has also been said before. I think this segment is over. If you want me to go into it more, please ask. But this totally hinges on the whole if I could go back and do college again thing, I would be a biological culturalist. Which parts of our culture are totally informed by biological function? For instance, although now the landscape has changed, the whole thing about like why are guys called studs and girls called sluts if they have a high number of sexual partners? There used to be a double standard. Now the liberation is complete, and like I said, we've moved into a post. What's the word? Like a post. We're still human biologically, but ideologically, we are past that now. Past the traditional sense of human, trad human. We're now in the like linguistic headspace of a next iteration of human or whatever. So the point is, back in those days when I was growing up, I remember hearing that question. Well, why are girls sluts and guys are called studs? It's not fair. And that's true. I agree it's not fair. However, if you apply the biological culturist perspective, it's like saying you want to praise the striker on a soccer team. I'm sorry. Guys are strikers and girls are goalies. So, yeah, if the striker is getting in many, many, many goals, then people cheer. But the goalie's job is to keep the striker out. And so you don't cheer on goalies who are getting, you know, massively scored on, because their job is to be the gatekeepers for the qualities and genetic characteristics that are going to be forward in the next generation. It's like the soccer game cannot be denied. The rules of the game cannot be denied. Girls are goalies and guys are strikers, biologically speaking. Once again, I'm not advocating for this mindset or continued mindset. I'm just saying we need awareness of the headspace that we're in now as post. I don't really know what the word is. I guess we're like post Homo sapien, but we're basically post Homo sapien Junior. And so now, of course, recognizing equality and everything, logically, it's fine for a girl to have a lot of sexual partners just as much as a guy. But if you're curious where that whole stereotype slash, moral standard of the old days came from, I would suggest that it's rooted in the biological principle of the fact that as the sperm receiver and you're the choosers. You're the choosers of what goes on. So it's kind of like if you walk into someone's house and they just don't seem choosy, they don't seem like they have any standards, then it's not like you have anything against them personally. You're just sort of like there's this general feeling that society is getting worse because who knows what kind of man is creating offspring here. That's why it's so important what kind of guys girls go for. Or, I don't know, that's definitely not the right thing to say. I'm in the old paradigm. I don't know, I think it still kind of applies. It's up to guys to represent virtue, and it's up to girls to pursue virtue so that future generations are virtuous. That's the end of my segment because the logo's on now. Let's move to the next segment of our TV show and play the music. All right, so today we're looking at we're trying to figure out what to do with this sound.
Back in the day, it wasn't very hard to see. Captain Monkeys in the trees and the fishies in the seas was the only things to be. Back back in the DDA.
Alright now, back in the times ago. I bust into my
Okay, I think we figured it out.
So raise your hand.
What we're gonna do with the sound. Oh, sorry, I was talking in the middle of it. What we're gonna do with the sound is, where is, alright, I figured it out. This is what we're gonna do.
Well, back in the DDA. It wasn't very hard to see. Got the monkeys in the trees and the fishies in the seas was the only things to be. Back in the DDA.
Alright now, back in the times ago. I bust into my rip and then my flow. So raise your hands in the air. Move your booty from the chair and shake it on the dance floor. Back in the times ago.
Well, back in the DDA. It wasn't very hard to see.
Say what?
Got the monkeys in the trees and the fishies in the seas was the only things to be.
Amen.
Back in the job. wasn't very difficult to find. Got the monkeys in the trees and the fishies in the seas where the only state of mind.
Love
No,
is
that's
mine,
the
oh
dawn of man.
mine.
Do you think
My
it was? I
love
wonder
is
if
mine,
I
oh
can. Well,
mine.
I sincerely
Nothing in
doubt
the
it. Now
world
we
would
almost
move
shouted.
me
Back,
but
back,
my
back in the
love.
day.
Mine, oh mine, oh mine. Showed me what my heart was worth. Okay, we listened to that. And you're wondering, what is that? Well, it's a rap song. I'm going to throw the lyrics up there. The rap song by Super Tangy Pop. Okay, I gotta transcribe the lyrics. In the meantime, let me drop you off on Doku 1.
E minor. E minor. Your C.
That's Doku Taiwan. And other places.
Good. That's good first time playing. See how me and you can work together by basic things. I mean, I can hear what you're playing. I can get into.
Oh shoot, it went through the cross universes again, guys. Sorry about that. This is Fistfoot. Oh my dear lord. We're going to a different year. Sorry. Switching to... Wow, nowhere is safe. What a sordid life I've had. Let's try Indo. Hopefully that'll last without anything controversial popping up. I'm having a little bit of trouble with this transcription. Maybe I could get Wondershare Filmora to do it. I don't know. That might take longer. I think I got this. Just might take a minute. I hope this footage is entertaining. I'm not watching. What is it? Oh, that was New Year's. New Year's in Bali. 2009 to 2010. Kuta Beach is a whole new kind of seedy. Rest in peace, Kevin. That's Luke. That was my TEFL instructor. What a wild guy. Yeah, basically, maybe I shouldn't share. I will maintain the integrity of the TEFL International program while suggesting that it may be less than integral. That's not right. Anyway, it was so crowded that night. Well, back in the DA, it wasn't very hard to see a... These dolphins straight up swam alongside our boat for a while. I got that footage by my own hand. Wow. This was a weird shot. We have to listen to the sound on this one. This is funny. You can hear how hard he's breathing. Oops. Just missed it. Okay.
It's pretty hot. You got a picture?
Please take a picture.
Funny stuff. Still working on that transcription. It's coming right up. I'm sure you can't wait. Oh, we got a glitch. Stop. Don't prisoner anymore. Cake Mob. It is the real of self-expression. This says Bridget Jones Dairy. In case you were wondering. The Cake Mob. Our customer has the fashion and environment, and cheaply. Free the Bobo. Now back in the times ago, I bust into my rhythm and my flow. So raise your hands in the air, move your booty from the chair, and shake it on the dance flow. Back in the times ago. That was the first class I ever taught at the orphanage. Nice kids. One of my co-trainees asked the orphanage kids if they could draw their family tree. It was like, talk about not, there she is. Talk about not planning for your class. That activity didn't last very long. That's one thing you have to be careful of, is activities that you plan not going the length that you planned them. So that's why, how do you beat that system? Just don't plan. Dynamic planning. Get a bunch of tricks in your back pocket. Keep your principles on the surface. You know what subjects you're going to teach, but you don't know how you're going to teach it. If you got enough tricks in your back pocket, like tic-tac-toe, vocabulary, and 3, 2, 1, you're dead, vocabulary, and what's the other big one I use? This guy was so aggravated that I was just hitching a ride on his tube. I was not a best citizen that night. That guy was blasting the Land Down Under. I can't show that on YouTube, but that's why I recorded that clip. That van was blasting I Come From the Land Down Under so loud. And that's noteworthy because Bali is stereotypically overrun by... Bali is Australia's Cancun, so all the same motivations that draw people to Cancun and all the reputation of Cancun can be applied to Bali, but they're Australian. I had some crazy experiences myself there. Basically, people pretending they got into a motorcycle accident so they could try and get me to pay for medical bills. But I was actually concerned for the person, so I said, let's drive to go see her. And her two friends, in quotes, drove me all the way to the hospital that was so far away, and then pretended like they didn't know her last name and so they couldn't see her. But she was never there. It was not true. She had no motorcycle accident, but I'll never forget that text message. It was so alarming. It said, IU has been in accident. There is many blood. That was at the beginning of my English teaching journey, and I didn't know why many blood was incorrect, but now I do know, and if you can tell me, then you win the Cool Cat of the Day award. Probably time to go to another year. This is a mix of all the years. This is just going for a drive. If you'd like to request any program, here's our program schedule. You can go to any Doku stop, watch the greatest hits, or ask for May Bonfire Chronicles, Oral Tradition, Doku 404, or you can Skype in for an interview. That was Indonesia, I think. That looks like Taiwan there. That's for sure Taiwan. Probably from the high speed rail. No, that's not high speed. Almost done with this transcription. Almost done. This is quite a long break from my activities. There's always a couple tiny things that get me when I'm doing these where I made a mistake. And this one, I just prevented my tiny mistake, and that was all right as 2 words compared to all right as 1 word. Which I don't know when to use which, but I do know. I guess I do know when, but I don't know why. Or I don't know why. I guess I can look that up tomorrow. Although this is my weekend, baby. I ain't looking up shit. Never worked so hard for the weekend as I did this week. I don't know how to spell rhythm. I'm going to take a guess. I think I guessed wrong. Rhythm is one of the weirdest words. Alright, I guess I got to look it up. Take your bets. Spell rhythm if you can. Did you get it? It's RHYTHM. Did I get it? No, I did not. RHY. I think I got it the first time and then I changed it. THM. After I get this transcription on the screen, I'm going to show it one time, play the thing one more time, and that's going to be the clip.
Nice. That's so good. You almost made me falter, but I kept it going. Kept the rhythm going.
I should have just played a story while I did this. That's okay. Do I have a short story?
That's an attitude.
I'm going to play Fistfoot Part 1. I know I said I wouldn't cross the streams, but I really want to cross the streams. And by the time this is done, I'll definitely be ready. This is 20 minutes. That seems too long. Ugh. I'll just play it cool. Hopefully you're enjoying the drive. Typically I like to edit out those shots of the mirror shots. It takes away from the illusion I feel. So, I'll do that later. It does feel like I'm trying to speed run a Photoshop file, and that is not my favorite. I have learned my lesson. I'm gonna type time normally, even though there isn't crazy accent on it. Okay. I think we're good. So now we can put it all together, and we'll finally be done with this segment. Okay, first up, let's put the okay, this is Super Tangy Pop. And this is their 2004 single, Back in the Day. My bad, I didn't play it.
Well, back in the day, it wasn't very hard to see. At the 90s in the trees and the fishies in the seas was the only things to be.
Say what?
Back in the day.
Alright now, back in the times ago. I'll bust into my rhythm and my flow. So raise your hands in the air. Move your booty from the chair and shake it on the dance floor. Back in the times ago.
Well, back in the day, it wasn't very hard to see.
Say what?
At the 90s in the trees and the fishies in the seas was the only things to be.
Amen.
Now back in the time wasn't very difficult to find. At the 90s in the trees and the fishies in the seas were the only state of mind.
No, back at the dawn of man. Do you think he thought I wonder if I can? Well, I sincerely doubt it. Now we all must shout it. Back in the day.
There you have it. We're just waiting for one of those geniuses out there who knows how to make a beat to put a good one to it. You've got the whole rest of the song waiting for you.